What's the story, Hopper? What's this you're teaching us? Sifting through the book crap because there's been so much. What's the truth now, Hopper? Do you think it's worth a look? Fixing revisionist history from all your school textbooks. Get the scoop now, Hopper. Fix the lies and fails. Sniffing out the bullshit. It's Hopper on the trail. Come on, Hopper. What's the story, Hopper? What's the story, Hopper? Catch the bullshit, Hopper.
Once upon a time, in the 80s, the media and governments of the world warned of an impending catastrophe. One that could end civilization as we know it. The epidemic of HIV/AIDS. Yes, in the 1980s and early 90s, the message was clear. No one was safe from the silent non-killer that is AIDS.
AIDS, oh no!
Many people had the wool pulled over their eyes with this hoax, but with the media aflutter over the latest doomsday scenario, activists were quick to vilify skeptics and reasonable doubters. When the city of New York estimated that 400,000 residents had AIDS, the commissioner himself, John C. Joseph, said that the estimate was actually less than half that. Little did he know that he lit a powder keg. Leaders of AIDS organizations and social activist groups accused him of minimizing the crisis and staged a sit-in demanding that he resign. It turns out that he was entirely correct. But no matter. The tone had been set. In a hyperly politicized climate, lobbyists dug in their heels, setting the stage for the silent non-killer AIDS to become the single most researched funded disease in the modern history of America. Despite it being a statistical non-risk factor,
We demand more money to combat this horrible disease which, contrary to popular belief, afflicts people of all shapes, sizes, and sexual orientations.
only that wasn't true at all. Statistically, the CDC puts a heterosexual American's chance of contracting AIDS at 0%, with 92% of all cases stemming directly from male-to-male sexual contact, and the majority of the remainder coming from intravenous drug use. But clawing at the hundreds of millions of dollars in government grants, fear-mongering ran rampant, with statistics deliberately being misreported. In fact, one of the most cited landmark studies, which reported over 573,000 AIDS cases among no-risk victims. The conductors were later caught fudging their data, having to reverse over 46% of the non-risk factor victims to be reclassified. But by that point, the damage had been done.
But I know it, Doc. I just know it.
Mr. Hopper, I can assure you, you do not have AIDS.
But all my hair is falling out.
That's just your summer coat.
But my balls fell off.
Hopper, you had those surgically removed 5 years ago.
Oh.
But hindsight is 20/20. In the moment, everyone believed this silent non-killer AIDS to truly be an epidemic, even though the chances of contracting it short of anal sex with gay strangers while shooting heroin was statistically non-existent. Matter of fact, the chances of a straight person contracting HIV in the modern world is 4 in 10,000 per exposure. Meaning that if a man were even married to an HIV-infected bride, he'd have to engage in intercourse with her an average of 10,000 separate occasions to expose himself to contracting AIDS.
I have to do what?
But for decades, among all the pandemonium, none of this mattered. Math, statistical realities were all tossed aside for fear of being called a bigot. And because Tom Hanks made a movie.
I don't see a case.
Oh, Tom Hanks, you truly are a talent. Why'd you have to do Da Vinci Code?
Well, through the 1990s, funding continued to soar for the entirely preventable disease, while countless Americans, including millions of children, died of diseases helplessly, entirely out of their control, with actual mortality rates. But they didn't have a celebrity awareness campaign and received a fraction of the funding. Yes, the AIDS epidemic hoax is one of the greatest ever perpetrated on the American public, and one that inadvertently cost millions of lives of actual victims. As with all great mistakes, a valuable lesson to be learned. You too can help save children's lives and stop stealing their research dollars by taking these simple steps. to easily avoid the silent non-killer.
So really, as long as you're not having unprotected anal sex with strangers or sharing needles, you have nothing to worry about. Also, stop biting hobos.
Oh, 'cause I did bite at him that one time. Wait, are you saying hobos or homos?
No. Hobos. Don't bite hobos.
Okay, are you saying hobos or homos? I'm still not clear.
No, hobos. You know what? Just play it safe. Don't bite either.
What's the story, Hopper? Maul the bastard Hopper.
And so I do the act of sticking my finger and create another blood brother in my life as the ancient Indians have done. And I will get another one today. Because I'm not afraid of getting AIDS. I know as a scientist that there is nothing to fear. I know what causes AIDS. I am not going to lie to others nor myself about it. I don't like sticking myself with a needle because it hurts. And if you've ever seen my expression on pictures, you know that to be true. So, Kim Freitas. Kim, are you here? Yeah. We're going to become blood brothers. Yeah. And please, to the press and to everyone else, I don't intend to stick myself 300 times because it wouldn't prove anything anyway. Oh, and might I say that a Dr. Gottlieb, who achieved fame for being the doctor that noted the first 4 or 5 cases of AIDS, who said to me on a radio broadcast the other night, he would believe me if I took a liter of blood. That's a transfusion of blood. And I said, you know, you must be mad. What is that going to prove? If you need a liter of blood to get AIDS, then nobody's going to get AIDS. Right. In any case, well, I got to do myself first, and then I have to do you. Here, but let me do your finger, okay? I mean, I got to do you first, right?
All right.
Excuse me. Then I'm going to do me. Excuse me, I had that backwards. All right. Wait a minute. Got to find. This is a heck of a time to lose my needle. There we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a typical butterfly needle set. If somebody has a scissor, it'll help. There, I got it. Okay. It's sterile. And usually we use it to take blood by sticking this in, and then we can inject things also. So, let's do that. We got this. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to... let me put my glasses on, okay? Good. I think you'd rather I do that. I got to tell you a cute little story. Shortly after my son was born many years ago, he's now 40, he got some kind of an infection or whatnot, and I spoke to the pediatrician at the hospital. I was an intern at the time, and he said, go home and give him a shot of penicillin. So I took the syringe and everything home, and my wife held Bruce over her shoulder, and I grabbed his little bottom cheek, and I go like this, and I stuck it right into my thumb, so.
Careful.
You can tell I don't like doing this, never have. Okay. Now we want to get a lot of blood. There we go. Okay? There we go. Now I'm wiping this needle thoroughly in this blood. And I say to my friends Fauci and Gottlieb and Galpin and Gallo and all the rest of those criminals, all right, that this is for the sake of humanity and no other reason. Oh, whoa, whoa. Right. And believe me, it hurts. And this is in the hope that it'll save the lives of millions of individuals who will die because of the greatest lie ever told.
Thank you.